My name is Jarrett, and I am the Executive Director of Unite KC. Our mission is to bring racial healing, harmony, and justice to Kansas City. And we do that through a number of really creative ways, but the biggest way is getting people to talk to one another. We have an annual event called the Walk for Unity. We give everybody who shows up to the walk a little card with questions on it. And then you have to walk with someone that you don't know, who doesn't look like you, and then you just ask them the questions as you are on the walk. And it really creates an opportunity, again, for people to have conversations, for them to drop their guards and the barriers that are normally there. It's something we do every year. It's fun. You bring the kids, there's games, there's food, but more importantly, people connect and they make lifetime connections at that walk. We got started about 3.5 years ago, and it was right on the heels of the George Floyd murder. Dayton Moore, formerly the Royals general manager and vice president, called together a bunch of leaders here, people that he knew in the city, and said, we really need to do more. We want to see our city survive incidents like this and not fracture and be pulled apart like what we saw across the country. We want to unite the city. I've always believed this, even though it's become kind of more of a tagline, but I happen to be black all year long. So one of our goals is to make it to where the exposure that black people get during this month starts to happen all year long. It'll just be a normal part of everyday life for life here in Kansas City and in America. Kansas City's home. It's a great city. I mean, I've seen enough cities to know that this is just the right blend of everything that I like. And the thing that I didn't like was the thing that I'm involved in now. Even at a Christian school, I had a very difficult time. I was just one of 2 or 3 black people at the school, and it was in the 70s, so I think that says it all. The things that I went through kind of started to dissipate after I got into college. I started to see less of the overt racism and persecution and stuff, but I keep telling people I would have traded that all, because by the time I got into business and wanted to start my own business and expand my own business, the opportunities just weren't there. It's much easier to deal with overt racism where it's just right there in your face, but the covert racism where you don't really know what's going on and you have to guess if it was, racism or not, or preferential treatment. That's the thing that I'm working to change. And is it getting better? Yes, it is. But when something never should have existed in the first place, you get anxious and you want it to change right away. That is a great question, and the answer is yes. And it's really through hearing the voices of the people who've gotten involved. It's hard to measure a heart change, but when other people tell you their stories, I came to the walk, I met a friend, and now, they were in my wedding and they came to my kid's graduation. That's exactly what the mission of Unite KC is about letting you know that as you take those first steps, if you're a black person trying to know what it's like to be in certain circles, or if you're a white person trying to know what it's like being in certain circles, people are not gonna be mad at you because you don't know something, especially if they see you're making an effort. And I bring that with a little bit of a caution on both sides of the fence. There are people who've had really bad experiences and they're hurt still. And they need healing and they need understanding and they need patience. Isn't that what we should all be about anyway? Just knowing one another, learning about one another, and learning how to be our brother's keeper. So it's a great movement. More and more people are joining every year, coming forward with their stories. And it's great work to invest your time, talent, and treasure in. So that's what I have to say about that.